investigator for the Senate Intelligence Committee Majority Staff study into the CIA's rendition, detention, and interrogation practices. In your time as a lead investigator, did you access and review a set of documents known as the Panetta Review?
Senator, I had access to materials at the CIA facility that they provided. That includes what I believe to be the Panetta Review, although it was not called that when I was on the committee. I left for the department in 2011.
Did you access and review the Panetta Review more than once?
Senator, I believe I had access to it. I don't remember at this point, 4.5 years later, how often I accessed it.
Do you believe that computer forensic analysis would indicate how many times it was accessed?
Senator, I'm sorry, I'm not a computer expert. I don't know.
Do you recall recording, making use of, or taking notes about the content of the Panetta Review?
Senator, I don't recall doing that.
As you know, the CIA believes the Intelligence Committee staff should never have had access to the Panetta Review. Are you aware of how or why the CIA computer system set up for committee staff to review CIA documents included the Panetta Review?
Senator, I have no idea. My understanding is that the computer system was set up for the committee's access, and the committee staff accessed all documents through the system that was set up.
Did you ever speak to any current or former CIA officials, staff, or contractors about making the Panetta Review accessible on this computer system?
Senator, I had no discussions about that particular document.
None whatsoever?
None with the CIA staff, no.
Are you aware of other Intelligence Committee staffers who spoke to any current or former CIA officials, staff, or contractors about making the Panetta Review accessible on that computer system?
Senator, I just don't know.
A committee staff member or members printed out a hard copy of the Panetta Review and removed it from the secure CIA document review facility and transported it to committee offices. Under the procedures agreed to by the committee and the CIA at the time, were committee investigators free to remove hard copies of any document they wished from the secure facility without consultation and authorization by the CIA?
Senator, as I mentioned, I left the committee in 2011. I believe, based on media reports, that incident happened long after I had left the committee. I'm not familiar with the circumstances of that arrangement.
So you don't recall the agreement that the committee had with the CIA about all access to any document, not just the Panetta Review?
Senator, my understanding is that issues were supposed to be worked out with the CIA, but again, I do not know the specifics of that particular document.
Was there agreed upon process by which the CIA could authorize the removal of certain hard copies of documents from that facility?
Senator, the CIA did clear documents to be brought back to the committee's SCIF. That was certainly something that had happened. That was how the review was brought back. It was brought back through the CIA.
Are you aware if the committee gained such authorization from the CIA to remove the hard copy of the Panetta Review?
Senator, as I mentioned, I was not at the committee at the time that it was reviewed, or at least media reports suggest it was reviewed, so I just don't know.
Well, media reports suggest that it was reviewed for the first time in 2010 when you were at the committee and a lead investigator there.
Senator, you asked when it was removed. Maybe I misspoke. I meant when it was removed from the CIA facility.
When is it your understanding that it was removed from the CIA facility?
Senator, I do not know. I know it was not removed at the time I was at the committee.
Are you aware of the identity of the committee staff members who took part in printing and removing the Panetta Review?
Senator, as I mentioned, I was not at the committee at the time. All I've seen are the same media reports that everyone else has seen.
Okay, I want to call your attention to a poster that the first page of each document in the Panetta Review contains a lengthy step as shown there. In a relevant part, it reads, "This classified document should not be distributed without express permission from DRG, RDI, or CIA's Office of General Counsel. This document also contains material protected by the attorney-client and attorney work product privileges. Furthermore, this document constitutes deliberative work product protected by the deliberative process privilege. It should not be relied upon by persons outside DRG, RDI." Do you recall seeing this stamp on the Panetta Review?
Senator, it's probably more than 5 years since I would have seen it. I do not remember it at this time.
Do you recall speaking with anyone in the CIA or on the Intelligence Committee staff about seeing a stamp such as this on the Panetta Review?
Senator, I don't remember discussing it.
You were a member of the D.C. Bar and the California Bar during the relevant times?
Senator, I'm inactive in California, but I'm a member of the D.C. Bar and inactive in California.
At the time in 2010 and 2011?
Yes,
were you aware that the D.C. and California professional responsibility rules regarding proper handling of privileged documents that may have been inadvertently disclosed by the CIA to committee staff?
Senator, I believe that the inadvertent disclosure applies to litigation issues. I think its congressional oversight is significantly different. In fact, with respect to that statement, I would note that Congress actually does not recognize deliberative process privilege as being something that protects disclosure from Congress. So, for example, this committee has requested a number of documents that are protected by, that could arguably be protected by deliberative work product. The Department of Defense provides them, has provided documents as recently as this week that would be potentially subject to that privilege from outside disclosure.
And it'll be your position, if confirmed to General Counsel of the Army, that this committee is entitled to review any material that you or anyone in the Army inadvertently or unintentionally discloses to Congress?
Senator, I think the executive branch and the Congress don't always agree on the scope of privileges. I think that's actually an important thing. I think it's part of the separation of powers. We always expect tension between the executive branch and Congress on exactly what material can be disclosed. I think that the important part is comity between the two. My understanding with respect to disclosure is often that the executive branch tries to accommodate Congress to the maximum extent possible. Certainly in the context of the review, the CIA review, the committee was provided access to more than 6 million pages. Many of them were deliberative in nature. Many of them were prepared by attorneys. There was no indication at the time that that was inadvertent.
Thank you, Ms. Starzak.